G'day. It seems that BBC News article about Ghislaine Maxwell and her coronavirus symptoms was a fix-up, was a stooge, was a Photoshop, was a fake, a phony fake show. But to look on the bright side, it does give me a perfect opportunity to point out where in the past BBC has known the future of events that will take place, as seen here in this news story from the BBC featuring Jane Stanley on 9/11/2001.
Now, more on the latest building collapse in New York. You might have heard a few moments ago I was talking about the Salomon Brothers building collapsing. And indeed it has. Apparently that's only a few hundred yards away from where the World Trade Center towers were. And it seems that this was not a result of a new attack. It was because the building had been weakened during this morning's attacks. We'll probably find out more now about that from our correspondent Jane Stanley. Jane, what more can you tell us about the Salomon Brothers building and its collapse?
Well, only really what you already know. Details are very, very sketchy. There's almost a sense downtown in New York behind me, down by the World Trade Centers, of just an area completely closed off as the rescue workers try to do their job. But this isn't the first building that has suffered as a result. We know that part of the Marriott Hotel next to the World Trade Center also collapsed as a result of this huge amount of falling debris from 110 floors of the two twin towers of the World Trade Center. As you can see behind me, the Trade Center appears to be still burning.
And we can still see World Trade Center to building number 7, the Salomon building, still standing there in the top right-hand corner of the screen. So, BBC are known for their shenanigans. What a dead giveaway that one was.
See these huge clouds of smoke and ash, and we know that behind that there's an empty piece of what was a very familiar New York skyline, a symbol of the financial prosperity of this city, but completely disappeared now.
Except for building number 7, which is still clearly visible over her left shoulder. BBC.
And New York is still unable to take on board what has happened to them today.
Presumably there were very few people in the Salomon building when it collapsed. I mean, there were, I suppose, fears of possible further collapses around the area.
That's what you would hope, because this whole downtown area behind me has been completely... We can't even put a figure, I think, when you talk to people on... They don't even say how many people might have been killed and injured. And I think that feeling, the idea of the devastation, people don't really know what to say, what to think. I think they feel the bubble of their security, as being in America, has definitely been popped. This city and this country will not be the same. But they don't really know where to turn. And that's the very sad thing. I think there's going to be lots of very, very traumatised people that just hit them very, very hard.
I think many of us, when we heard the news, perhaps on the radio earlier today, were completely flabbergasted by it and just couldn't comprehend it. I mean, it almost sounded too far-fetched. I was wondering what it's felt like for you being in Manhattan. Well, unfortunately, I think we've lost the line with Jane Stanley in Manhattan. Perhaps we can rejoin her and follow that up later.
And then 20 minutes later, this happened.
Looking like the Three Stooges movie covered in plastic, I swear to God. But you got good shit, man. That's some good shit. Then we went back there. Whoa, 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 whoa!
Pull it. And they made that decision to pull, and then we watched the building collapse.
So on the bright side, even though that Ghislaine Maxwell story turns out to be a bit of a stooge, a fix-up, a Photoshop, a fake, the whole arrest of her and her partner Epstein is probably all a big phony fake show distraction anyways. On the bright side, it did give me a chance to re-highlight some BBC fuckery from the past, and no small fry either. It was a big piece of fuckery. Anyway, always look on the bright side of life.